Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to our Gallop TV preview show for this Thursday. It's the 6th of June. We race at Turffontein. We're on the inside track and just having a look at what's on the betting menu. Well, there's 9 races carded, so the exotics will begin in race number 2. And the big one, the pick 6 at 13:45. As always, Alistair Cohen on the line. And Alistair, 9 races on this Thursday, building up to what promises to be a fantastic weekend during champion season.
Yeah, good day, Deans. Good day to all the viewers. Actually quite like this card at Turffontein. It has 1 or 2 challenging races, but overall I think we're looking at an above average card with a few races where I think we can probably pick our cherries, and then after that look for a few results and build a dividend as the exotics go on. Cannot wait for the Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge. Many are talking it up as the race of the season. It probably is, with more than half the field being individual Grade 1 winners. Lucky Lad returning just 7 days apart from his big Grade 1 on Hollywoodbets Scottsville. It's going to be an unbelievable day on Saturday, and I hope that all racing fans, whether they're in Durban, if you're in Durban you have no excuse, but if you're not in Durban and you're just a racing fan and you feel the itch to go and watch some great racing, I suggest get to Hollywoodbets Greyville on Saturday.
Yeah, this is where we build things up, and as always, when it's quality racing, quality pools. Let's get straight into it. Race number 1, not part of the exotics. It's a juvenile plate over 1,450 meters. Just as a guide, horses in single figures at the time of recording. Number 4 at 6-1. Horse number 6 at 4-1. We got an 8-10 shot here from the Tony Peters stable called Shinto Shrine, and number 7 at 8-10. 8 is at 5-1, and then it's double figures the balance. There are a few unknowns in the race with the first timers who I see haven't attracted any betting support at this stage. But last time out, this horse disappointed. This grey son of Denon Platina at 9-10. Could he go one better this time round? Because he's had 2 good runs, but they have been seconds.
2 good runs to 2 good horses. These Cosmic Speed obviously ran second in the Grade 1, the gold medallion behind the stable Companion Proceed on Saturday, and then Grand Crescendo beat Shinto Shrine last time. Shinto Shrine probably unlucky loser. He was towards the wrong side of the track and he blew it at the start, and he was chasing late but chasing to no avail behind Grand Crescendo. I don't know if I'll be taking odds on about him. I think, look, there are 3 likely winners. They're the 3 horses at the top of the boards. There's no point looking elsewhere. I think the first timers all need further. I think the race runners are pretty much where they are, where they look to be anyway. But I think number 6, Serrano's got good claims here. First start to Don't Cry For Me. Typical Soma, needed the run. Unlikely to win first time out. Better second run. Will be better third time out. So I think that he might represent better value than number 7 Shinto Shrine, and likewise number 8 Tokyo Medallia, who ran 4 lengths to Believe in Fate on debut. If you look at indirect form lines, I'd say that running 2 1/4 lengths to Cosmic Speed is far better than running 4 lengths to Believe in Fate, judging by where Believe in Fate ran in the Grade 1 in conjunction to Cosmic Speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend boxed exacta 6 and 7. I'll be shouting more for 6 just to perhaps boost that dividend a little bit, but I think it'll probably go 7 from 6.
6 and 7, that's race number 1. Play around those numbers, but don't discount number 8 for your trifectas and quartets. On to the bipot, race number 2. You need to get on by 12:35. 1,450 meters, a juvenile plate for fillies. And again, lots of first timers here, which we go in blind, but we'll have a look at the betting. Number 3, first timer, 5-1. 4, first timer, 9-2. Both horses from the stable of Sean Terry. Number 6, first timer, Tony Peter, 33-10. Then we go on to a race runner in number 8, Jilted at 6-1. 9 is a first timer, that's at 7-1. And then we got horse number 11 from the Alec Laird stable at 4-1. I think the question will be, it wouldn't be a surprise to see a first-timer win this, Alistair, just judging by the market and, of course, what the race runners represent in black and white.
Not at all, these. I think that Terry's to have very interesting claims about them. Number 3, Exceedingly Glam, is a sister to Elegant Ice, very well performed, placed at Grade 1 level with Lucky Hudalakis, perhaps a little bit unlucky as well on Saturday in the South African filly sprint behind October Morn, so she is worth watching, as is number 4, Executrix. Can we glean anything out of jockey arrangements? We probably could with Ferrari riding number 4 Executrix, but maybe there's a Mario Ferreira Princess Color Ferrari connection, because the draw is obviously a massive worry. Over 1450, drawn 11. If you're going to win that on your debut, then you are destined for big things. So I don't know which way to or how to read these two Terry horses, other than the fact that I'd expect them to go very well in a race that has very shallow form about it. The best race runner by a country miles, number 8, Jilted. Jilted ran third to Rodeo Drive. Rodeo Drive close up in the Alan Robertson on Saturday. The horse who ran fourth in that race, Valley Ava, won on Tuesday at the Val, won nicely. So there's a lot of form and a little bit of confidence that I can give you about the numbers around number 8, Jilted. The problem is the draw that we have, 12 out of 12. Elson and Zalana's obviously prepared to run from that deep draw, and there's no way that you can go to the bank with her. So although Jilted looks to be the most reliable of the race runners, certainly judging by the numbers that she brings into the picture, the two first timers just jump off the page. Number 3, Exceedingly Glam, and 4, Executrix. Which one I'd go for? I'd swing towards the draw with number 3, Exceedingly Glam.
Well, just to watch come closer to race time where the money could be on the Sean Terry runners or any one of the other first-timers. The one that is shorter than the other from the Tony Peters stable is horse number 6 ahead of horse number 9. So that could be a very interesting call come race time for your bar pot. I think wait for as long as possible to fill in leg number 1. Race number 3, start of the place accumulator, 13:10, 10 past 1, 1600 meters. Number 1 is at 18 to 10, 4 is a scratching, 7 is at 15 to 10, and 9 is at 22 to 10. When I had a look at this race, I thought that this may be, the trifecta boxed for the day. But then I quietly fancy number 8 that could possibly, muddy the waters there, Alistair, for those top 3 positions.
Dees, Messalina has, got 2.5 lengths to turn around with number 1, the Crown. I suppose if you reckon, I'll tell you what, the PA's my suggested bet, and I'm very, very keen on number 7, Key Worker. And I think you spot on with the trifecta box probably being the way to go. But I think Messalina might sneak in ahead of number 8, Olivia's Way, certainly the way that I read it. Because, I think the Crown's going to run second and two lengths to turn around. And Olivia's Way is coming back from a little bit of a break. So I think that I'd go 1, 7, and 8, but number 7 is my top choice. Number 7, Key Worker, full sister to Surcharge. It was also trained by Stuart Pettigrew. She got draw 1. We know the Pettigrew way is not to set them up first time out. They do come on with a run under the belt. I'd suspect that number 7, Key Worker, will do just that. Gavin Lorena's back on board. I actually had a chat to Pettigrew a couple of weeks ago when I was delivering catalogues for the Cape Winter Yearling Sale, which happens on this race day down at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, and I was chatting to him about his horses and his babies, and he's very optimistic about the future with this horse number 7, Key Worker. So I think this will be a good place for her to break through. I think she'll win. I think the Crown's run with some moderate maidens along the way, and she's failed to get the job done. So I think it's definitely advantage for the improver and the horse that's obviously genetically very, very well favoured, being a full sister to Surcharge. Daily News 2000.
Well, you are giving me some permutations now that I can work out between these 4 runners. If you like number 7, and you're quite confident that number 1 could be chasing that one home. So I think we could go with the minimum spend here, racing fans, in race number 3. If Alistair's spot on, then it's 7 and 1, and then 8 and 9. How are you going to play it? Well, I would go 7 a banker, by 1 a banker, by 8 and 9. Play it for 2 rand. Who knows? You could get a good return on your investment there in race number 3. Race number 4 kicks off the pick 6. It's 13:45, 1600 meters the distance. It's a maiden plate. Betting here, leg 1 of the pick 6, and we need some guidance. Number 1 is at 18 to 10. Number 2 is at 7 to 2. And then we got an even money shot in a 2-year-old filly, who obviously gets her sex allowance, number 1. And at this time of the year, it is pretty large, isn't it? Weight for age over 1600 meters. For 2-year-olds is 10.5 kgs plus the sex allowance. And what the stable have done is they've also included a -4. Well, she goes to post at 49 kgs, this 2-year-old filly. And she's priced up at even money after being priced up at 50 to 1 on debut. Alistair, what's your thoughts?
I bank her in the place accumulator, but can I be confident taking even money about a horse that had no interest first time out from a quiet form line, I don't know. The reason why she's a banker in the PAM, and just look around, how's she going to miss the first three in a field this shallow? Nerva Nastili rode a winner at the Val on Tuesday for Brett Weber in the form of Nkandla Gold, went close a couple of races on. So I think at the moment he's well worth his full claim. He'll be worth his full claim as a result until he claims 2.5, then we'll see. But to receive 11 kilos from number 1 Festival of Magic, who obviously came back from a long layoff and ran a very good race first time back behind Zip Code. Zip Code's not a bad horse, trained by David Nevenhuizen. I just think that the 11 kilos swing with number 8 Hats Queen is going to be pivotal here, and I think that that's going to help her across the line. Although it goes against the grain, goes against my logic when a horse drifts out on debut and kind of springs up on the connections. Certainly when there's a drift as alarming as that from 8 to 1 to 50 to 1. But these, when you look around at the quality or the lack thereof in this race. How good does she have to be to win this race? The answer is not very. I think that she'll get the job done, but I do have respect for number 1 Festival of Magic, and I would put her into the pick 6 because I'd kick myself going out on the first leg if number 1 Festival of Magic were to arrive under Fari.
Yeah, I agree with you. Numbers 1 and 8, and then the cover could be number 2 from the stable of Paul Matchett. But let's see if this one is tactically placed. I think that's the way I'd put it, from the Tony Peters stable. A 2-year-old filly, 1,600 meters, and all the weight advantage in her favor. On to race number 5, jackpot 1, 1,500 meters. Fillies and mares, 78 handicap. How they're betting here is a number 2 at 7 to 2. Then number 3 at 5 to 1. Number 4 at 9 to 2. 5 is at 11 to 2. 6 at 7 to 2. And we got a 6 to 1 shot here that I quietly fancy, called Secret Recipe. Muzieni, 54. Draw 1, consistent of late, may just be rewarded. How many horses in jackpot 1, and what's your suggested bet for the show, Alistair?
Well, it is the place accumulator where we've gone banker, and here I've gone 3 horses, 5, 6, and 9. Mighty Goddess, Zenobia's Gold, and Secret Recipe. But we need to hold this to less than half the field for the pick 6 and jackpots according to your rules. So I'd have number 4, Flamboyant Flyer, as my backup on that last run against Boys to Open Highway, and Gavin Larena sticking with her. But the way that I read my top 3 fancies, let's start with my top choice. It is number 6, Zenobia's Gold. I think she can back up her last win when beating Valaria Amamba, who she meets again. Valaria Amamba has a slight swing at the weights, but I think Zenobia's Gold always had her measure. So I'm going to suggest that number 6, Zenobia's Gold, will finish in front of number 2, Valaria Amamba again, despite the fact Valaria Amamba looks like she's getting better. 5, Mighty Goddess has had a lovely year. Waishong Maui and Kabelo Matsanyani team up. Her last run, she came back from a small break. She wasn't disgraced behind Solo Diva, who she meets again. She comes in better off with Solo Diva by quite a margin here, and I think she'll be better for the run. Has the handicapper caught up with Mighty Goddess? Possibly, but I think she'll be in the first 4 at worst, obviously for PA purposes, hoping she runs in the first 3. And then number 9, Secret Recipe. I've got all the time in the world for her. Viewers know that I'm always on her side. She's got draw 1, which is a huge advantage. She loves to go handy, so she can stretch them out and be pretty difficult to beat. I'm a little bit worried that she probably lacks the desire to go all the way through with it. She's tried blinkers before and it backfired badly, so when you watch her you'd think that blinkers would work, but obviously the Aussies have had that idea before, and it was a horrible idea. It was her worst run to date. But with number 9, Secret Recipe, and the form that she's in, that she's just bound to be somewhere there and thereabouts. Talking about number 7, Red Cherry Lane, I've spoken to Sean Terry about her. She's very difficult. She's obviously got ability. She's out of a very, very well performed mare who obviously Sean trained. Pomazelis, I think, will probably need the run. 3, Princess Ilaria, her last run was good, but I think she's best down the Val Straight, so that's why I've sidestepped those. 5, 6, and 9 for me, with number 4 as the backup.
4, 5, 6, and 9, and if you include one more than number 3, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9 for the pick 6 there in race number 5. Jackpot 2, race number 6, 1,500 meters. A fillies and mares 92 handicap. There is some quality to speak about in this race, and I think you'll do exceptionally well if you can try to get through with the minimum spend in whatever bet you are taking in the exotics. Number 1 is at 6 to 1, 5 at 9 to 2, 6 at 7 to 1. Then we got number 7 at 7 to 2, 8 at 5 to 2, and horse number 9 at 8 to 1. Well, the way Miss Hannigan won last time out, Alistair, it did surprise most of us. but the betting was spot on. I know that she was, carded to race in one of the races after that, but obviously scratched due to the high levels of TCO2. But she's back racing now. And I haven't spoken to the stable. I usually try to get a word from the stable when it comes to Dylan's horses, but I haven't. But this looks to be a competitive race.
I've got 2 horses in my place accumulated these, and I'm pretty uneasy about it because 8 Miss Hannigan's on the radar, 3 Duenna's definitely on the radar as well, as is number 5 Cape Lights, and I've left all of them out. I think you'll probably need to go quite deep into pick sixes and jackpots. My PA numbers are 1 and 6, just because they're 2 horses that have done me a few favours. I think number 1 Key Element's quite well handicapped. I expected a huge run from her last time when I did the show with Graham 2 weeks ago, and she ran a lovely race into 3rd behind LMB, who was a fast finishing place getter at Hollywoodbets Scottsville on Saturday. 3rd run after a rest. I've always thought she's of reasonable quality. She's run with some of the best 3-year-old fillies in the country and never really been disgraced. She's obviously got the most awkward draw, but last time Pilasanda and Toily took her off to the front and she stuck around, and I think that run will do her a lot of good. And the half-sister to Quasi for sure, I can see being banged there. And then number 6 on the card, Magical Flight, I've got her in as well. She'll be also hunting the lead. Hopefully they don't cost each other. But when you look at her record on the inside track, that's my main angle for giving number 6 Magical Flight a vote of confidence. She's been a great servant to the connection, 7-time winner, easily the most decorated horse in the race, having earned over 700,000 rand. That's obviously because she's been around the block a lot longer, but she's not lost any of her zest for racing, and she too has been running at a reasonable level. Craig Zaki's riding nicely for Sean Terry. We'd love to see Craig build his confidence a little bit going into the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, where he rides green with envy. So I've gone on with numbers 1 and 6 in the place accumulator, but I must confess the reason why I didn't suggest a pick 6 was because of this race. There are far too many in with chances.
Yeah, tough race number 6, quality, form to recommend, and we'll see what happens with that outcome of the 6th race. But as I mentioned, if you can try and narrow those legs down, then you're already a winner, because you're sure to drop tickets regardless of the result. Race number 7, Pinnacle Stakes, 1,450 meters. I'll refer to the best weighted column, which is tight. But again, talking about quality in the previous race, well, we stepped things up here in race number 7. Betting here in single figures, Alistair, we'll have a look at that now. I just want to look at the best weighted column. You're going to have to be the judge on this, because it could be all over the place with regards to distance. 1,450 meters is the strip, but the best weighted column does belong to the filly. Number 5, Mrs. Geriatrics at 116, Captain Peg at a 114, number 1, Anfield's Rocket, and number 3, Unzain at 113, and then Quantum Theory at a 112. Now, if you've managed to try and narrow things down here, because you got fillies and mares taking on the boys, and if you had to pick between the two sexes, where would it be advantage, males or females?
I'm going fillies. I'm pretty strong on a top choice here, and it's probably not the filly that you think I'm going to go with. I've got 3 horses in my picks in my place accumulator. 2 of them are colts, but my top choice is number 6, Captain Peg, back from an 82-day layoff. She loves running fresh. She's 3 from 4 after a break. She adores the inside track. She's been beaten twice on the inside track. She ran second once over this course in distance from 4 starts for 3 wins. She is a different filly. She's got a great turn of foot. That's what makes her such a weapon. That's why Pettigrew waits for the inside track. She's just a number of lengths better on the tight turning track. And I think that number 6, Captain Pig, represents value here. It's obvious that number 5, Mr. Geriatrics, is not the same filly she was as a 2-year-old. I would love to see her come back. I'd love to see her bounce back. But sadly, at the moment, I'm not seeing any signs that she's ready to bounce back and come back to winning ways. She has her best chance here than what she's had in a long time, not running in a feature race for the first time in a while. She's got draw 1. She's got Free Up, which is obviously her best mate. But she's just not quite been the same of late. Now back up to number 6, Captain Peg, is number 1, Anfield's Rocket. I'm convinced he's going to bounce back one of these days. There was a race at Turffontein. I'm just trying to jolt the memory. It was there behind Mover and Shaker. That finish that he produced, you got to watch it again. I don't think the computer form time is accurate there on number 1, Anfield's Rocket. Just go watch that rerun. I was bluffed into thinking he would run a big race in the Hawaii Stakes. probably argue the same thing. He's probably not the same 4-year-old as he was a 3-year-old, been winning the South African Classic, but I've seen enough from number 1 Anfield's Rocket to suggest that he's going to win a race one of these days, and it will be a price. And then probably the most reliable horse on the race is number 3, Unzen. Caden Brewer takes it right for Robbie Sage. He's also probably a better horse on the inside track than anywhere else. His last run in the Hawaii, when receiving only 2 kilos from Lucky Lad, was out the top draw. He's run with some of the best horses in Joburg, sort of those grade 2 level races, and number 3 Unzen will be a threat as well.
Well, when it comes to closest to true over the distance, I think Alistair has picked out the right horse here. Number 6, Captain Peg, 4 of the 6 wins over the distance. In fact, 3 of them over the course and distance, as he alluded to, with a second as well. So that is at 56.5 kgs, and she does feature in the best weighted column. She is second, so I think Alistair could be on to an 8-1 shot here. I'll just read out the fixed odds betting market. 3 at 5-1, 4 at 6-1, 5 at 6-1. Alistair Cohen's value, number 6 at 8-1, number 8 at 7-1, 9 at 9-2, and 10 at 7-2. Let's move along, Alistair, to race number 8, the penultimate race on the card, 1,200 meters the distance, and this is how they're betting. Number 1 at 7-2, 2 at 5-2, 4 at 7-1, 6 at 4-1, and then we got horse number 7, War Queen, at 9-2, 8 at 8-1, and we'll read out number 9, Bold Act, because there's betting support, anti-post Hollywood bets, 16-1 into 12-1. So, there are some tricky races on the card where you suggested to play it wide, and I think this race will be no different unless you really like something.
I really like something here, Dees. I was very, very close to bank tree number 2, Chasing Happiness. Back in a handicap, she's running graduation plates on the back of quite a lengthy layoff. Has this horse, number 2, Chasing Happiness. She's got a good draw. She got Gavin Larina on board for Johan Janse van Vuren. She is clearly my top choice as daughter of Rafif, but I don't think she was ready after a break to take on the opposition that she did, although being a filly, she came in well weighted, but she was obviously just, lacking a little bit of match fitness. The drift on her first run back suggests that. The support on her second run, I thought, was a good run behind Fire and Flames. Fire and Flames ended up a reserve in a grade 1 on Saturday at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, so maybe that was just a signal of intent that Chasing Happiness might have a couple of divisions to come. The reason why I haven't banked her, I look closely, the run to Exchange Student makes number 7, War Queen, a bit of a danger here. Caden Brewer's on board, rode her last time, finished 2 lengths behind Exchange Student. She meets number 6, Woman of Fame. She comes in better off with Woman of Fame. I just think that if Chasing Happiness comes unstuck, number 7, War Queen, could be the one to chase her down, but there's no doubt which order I'm going with.
Okay, just the 2 runners there, but Alistair firmly in the camp of number 2, Chasing Happiness. And if you're looking for a banker, you are having a look at the perm that you've put on, and when you come to race number 8, you don't want to multiply things out after the first 4 legs of the pick 6, because this is the 5th legs. Then maybe multiply it by 1. Race 8, number 2, Chasing Happiness. And if you're looking for cover, just the 1 more runner, number 7, War Queen. Then we close things off in race number 9. It's 1,200 meters. It's a fillies and mares 80 handicap. And this is how they're betting at the time of recording. No scratchings. Number 1, Ride On, Alistair, 33-10 into 28-10. Hollywoodbets. Number 3, 6-1. 5, 7-1. 6 at 8-1. 7 at 8-1. 11 at 7-1. And then 12 at 8-1. Yeah, Alistair, I hate doing this, but obviously we have to. Number 5, Just Be Nice. I think we'll start off there. Any word from Candace?
Yep, doing very nicely at home. She should be at home on the inside track. She tried a mile last time, although she ran well. Peter Sunday really thought that was just a step too far for her, and she didn't have that late kick that sort of serves her well over slightly shorter. She'll hold her own. She's got draw 1. That's a massive advantage. Been looking to get her into a race for a while. She's been nominated in Durban a number of times, but keeps copping a bad draw. So here we are with... she'll run her race, number 5, Just Be Nice. If not winning, she'll go very close. She's definitely very much in the play, as is number 1, Ride On. Her local debut was was very encouraging. Over 1,000 meters, she was low level flying over the closing stages, finished less than a length behind her stable, or her former stable, the Clarkson train runner, Fennec Fox, but she was definitely the best finisher in the race. The extra furlong should suit her nicely. She'll come on with that run under the belt. When you look around, if you're looking for an alternative, number 11, Just the Two of Us, is very interesting to me. Green Lightning ran at the Vol on Tuesday, ran an unlucky second. I don't think she would have won anyway, but the point is, Just the Two of Us won drawn towards the inside on a day where nothing was performing up the inside, so she could be upwardly mobile. So just keep an eye out on her. For a rating of 72, I've seen horses with far worse records coming out of the maidens rated higher than a 72, so maybe just keep it open-ended and expect her to go quite nicely. But 1 and 5 my PA numbers. Pick 6 I would include numbers 3 and 11.
Well, that's a nice way to end things off. 1, 5, and then 3 and 11, the back of just 4 runners in a field of 12 here in race number 9. And that's it, Alistair. That's our preview race by race. But let's get straight into your suggested bet. And you mentioned it was a place accumulator.
Yep, starts at 10 past 1. Race number 3 on this 9 race card. Open up with Banker 7, Key Worker. By Banker, number 8, Hats Queen. So we go Banker, Banker to kick off. By numbers 5, 6, and 9, Mighty Goddess, Zenobia's Gold, and Secret Recipe. By 1 and 6, Key Elements and Magical Flight. By 1, 3, and 6, Anfield's Rocket, Unzen, and Captain Peg. By 2, Chasing Happiness, and 7, War Queen. Very close to bankering to Chasing Happiness if budget's a little bit tight. And then numbers 1 and 5, Ride On and Just Be Nice.
Thanks to Alistair. I know he's in a bit of a hurry, so we bid him farewell, and we'll be seeing him during the weekend at Hollywoodbets Greyville. Until the weekend, take care, Alistair.
Sure, Dee. Thank you so much. See you all this weekend.
Thanks to Alistair Cohen, and to you, the valued racing fan. Hopefully everything falls into place if you're playing on this Thursday. Have a blast, find all the winners, and on behalf of the Gallop TV team, Alistair Cohen, myself, Dee Steiner, until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gashle.